welcome back to On the Road Adventure. This morning we woke up in the Wolf's Lair in Poland.
So for anybody that don't know, you have to watch yesterday's episode, and we slept literally what would be a hiding place of Hitler for 800 days. And we definitely recommend the campsite itself. It's very simple, quite busy,
very clean,
but very clean facilities, everything you need. Coffee shop opens in the morning and the restaurant.
And cheap. You paid less than 20 quid to stay here.
It's cheap, yeah. It was 75 zloty, which was under £20 for the night. So today's plan is to ride about 2.5-3 hours even further north towards Gdańsk, and we're gonna be seeing Stutthof, which is one of 6 concentration camps that were built by the Nazi Germans in Poland. So I'm really looking forward to it. The entry is free to the museum, and hopefully there is enough information for us to make sense out of it.
Even though this place isn't just set up as a campsite, I could easily spend a couple of days here. I'll bet there's loads to find in these forests if you took the time to walk around.
Oh yeah, there was loads of buildings that we have not discovered at all.
You say there's something like 250 hectares here of space.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So we can only imagine all the things that's in the forest, but it does make sense that they don't give everybody access to everything. There'll be lost children and things all over the place. Lost Evas, definitely.
Yeah. Never seen a girl on a motorbike.
Some of the army vehicles there. Look at the queue to get in this place this morning. Wow.
See, this is really good. We are not morning people because everybody else does all the sightseeing in the morning. And when we were doing it last night, it was actually quite empty. It was okay.
We went straight in, didn't we? No problem. And we had bags of time to walk around and see everything we needed.
In this area you've got 3 different areas, and we only seen one. The area 2 and 3 I believe you can do on your own, or there is some sort of guides you could pay a super extra money and they take you around. But if you just read about it enough, and if you're interested, you definitely can go exploring. Just don't go inside, and if you do and something happens, it's your fault. I'm pretty sure they take no responsibility here.
3 hours 10 minutes to the concentration camp we're heading to, so it was a bit of a ride today. Sun's shining now. Another perfect day to ride motorcycles.
We've been riding for a good hour now, and there's nothing but empty roads. Not much happening. I think it's a Sunday, so everyone is with their families, which is quite nice, but I guess we're a little bit tired, so we're gonna look for a coffee stop. Hopefully there is a petrol station or something. Sundays are not the easiest one in Poland because most of the shops are closed, so you cannot go to like a bigger supermarket or anything like that. There's only a few small shops that are open, and obviously all the restaurants are. But we haven't seen anything on the way here yet.
In other news, I've discovered that if I let go of the handlebars at 60 kilometers an hour, my handlebars go mental. Because we reduce speed and I let go, and you can see the handlebars starting to want to go. There they go. Well, that's not good. So we better inspect that.
We just saw him whiz by. Probably missed the petrol station.
Oh, he had to show his mate how fast his bike is. Yeah, we'll meet him down there at the back. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, stopped at the petrol station.
Really quick.
Yeah, really good. But I really like these petrol stations here because everything is here. You can get a coffee and hot food. They'll warm your sandwiches up for you in the oven.
Yeah,
it's great.
And so we had something warm to eat each, and a coffee and a little sweet, and that's like about £8.
Yeah, it's not expensive. It's really good.
It's not. It's all still fast food. It's still no good for you. Don't
And
eat it, but it's there.
service stations in the UK are always rank as well.
Are they?
Yeah, generally they are. In comparison, anyway, everything is kept really well here in Poland. I think when you go into cafes and
It's pretty good, yeah.
that sort of stuff. Yeah, really good.
I can't say anything. Yeah. Well, we've got about 2 hours of riding, and this seems really difficult today because the past few nights we actually didn't have a good sleep.
No, we pitched up next to the campfire last night, which seemed like a great idea until we realised people were sat around till 3 a.m.
People didn't pack in at midnight. They packed in after 3 a.m. and then there was someone snoring and someone this, someone that. Then I was snoring.
That was quite funny actually. I come out the tent and I could hear a fellow over the other side snoring his head off. There's another bloke over here snoring his head off.
Yeah.
Yeah, very amusing. But that is camping for you. That's life on the road, isn't it?
We're going to put it together and power on through the next 2 hours.
We just had another double espresso. We'll be right for an hour till the next one.
10 minutes maybe.
10 minutes? Yeah, all right. Oh, I was sleeping. Go.
Sleepy Sunday.
Yeah, Sleepy Sunday. Before I met Eva, I never used to drink coffee. Now we're both proper coffee addicts. Stopping for espresso all the time. I don't know what to do without it now. You definitely become reliant on it, I think. Right, another 2 hours to the destination. Looks like we've arrived in some sort of civilization.
So we've been passing queues and queues of cars now, and I think because it's a Sunday, everyone is coming back from the seaside. We're very close to the seaside, and this is the road to the museum we're going to. So I'm just saying to Rich, we're probably lapped out and everyone is leaving the museum and we're gonna go to an empty one, because hopefully there'll be no queues later. Hello bikes.
I have to say this sort of last hour or two of Poland, we're up near the north of it now, has been much more interesting than lower down. I think for me the roads a lot more twisty, a lot more going on, things to see.
We're just arriving at the museum, Stutthof.
Hidden in a forest again. It's the Germans' favourite thing, hide in the forest.
We finally reached the destination. So this is Stutthof, which is the concentration camp built in the Second World War. And right behind us is a guardhouse. And we just read that there was 2,200 SS soldiers here, and at once was 1,100. So we're going to just walk now towards the main, because this was the main gate. So everyone coming in and out would be checked by them. And
so far though, as you approach the guardhouse, it looks really pretty.
It is a very
and you can see the main entrance to the camp at the end, and you can see that things are about to change drastically. We're standing at the gate now where the prisoners were first brought, and they were processed over in that building. They would have been met by the doctor. They would have had their heads shaved and their clothes taken, and any valuables they had taken away.
They would stand naked here, and the fate of them was decided. So like they would decide who's going to die, who's going to come in, and who's going to stay, sort of thing. And any time of the year, cold, heat, whatever, they stand here naked.
This was known as the Death Gate by the prisoners. After they lined up in columns, stripped naked, they would walk through, and then they would go into a disinfectant bath. About 110,000 prisoners came through here. 65,000 of them never came out. Just one of the punishment cells here.
This is an autopsy table. I presume it's original as well. So everyone was supposed to wash at one time, 4,500 prisoners, and the water was going so slow you couldn't even take it in your hands to wash yourself. And these buildings inside this barracks are so hot. We find it difficult to be in here right now.
Definitely.
This is the gynecology room, so every woman would be checked over and humiliated when they came in here to check also if they were smuggling anything. And if you were pregnant, you would be put into hard work. And if your child survived, then you have to fight for the child's survival.
This is the camp hospital infirmary, and it was placed directly next to the camp's crematorium. So that tells you all you need to know. The punishment for staying in the hospital infirmary too long was death.
Here you can see the kitchen, not the kitchen, but the dining room, but I'm not sure they would sat in here, because for what I read earlier, you will get the broken bowl with the soup, eat as quickly as possible outside, and hand the bowl back because they didn't have enough for everybody. This is how the barracks looked like from outside. The middle one is missing. A lot of them is missing to what I can see. I'm not sure exactly of the story, but I'd presume most of it was destroyed. In here you can see the bedrooms, if you can call it that. So you have 3 rows, and they go 2 deep. And very little space to walk in between. Now pictures of some of the prisoners.
We can see where these walls are. They're the outlines of all the other workshop buildings that were here. And we can guess what the building down the end with the chimney is. The morgue was situated in a wooden annex at the camp's infirmary. A special group of inmates, the so-called led Toten Commando, would bring the corpses of the inmates that died during the day in the infirmary or in the camp's area. The corpses of the people who had died during the night were put on the floor in the washing room of the barracks, where their clothes were taken off, and they were marked with a piece of carton with the camp number. In the morning, they were brought to the morgue. The golden teeth of the dead were removed, which was an additional source of income. This is the original gas chamber built in 1943. So these wagons were used to transport prisoners, goods and the sick. And then the Germans worked out that they could use them as mobile gas chambers. And some of these wagons were converted so they could be hooked up to the front of the train. And by the end of the sad ride, there'd be no one left. Sadly, this is a room that needs no explanation.
It doesn't really say, but I think these are ashes that were found.
Shocking. What I find astounding is when you look at the faces of the pictures of the SS inside there, and you think you must be so evil to have done something like this. But when you look at the pictures, a lot of them are just young lads, and they're probably just as frightened as everybody else in here. You know, they're forced to do what it is that they have to do.
Yeah, like we found out yesterday, some of them were against Hitler, but they were in this position, and it was either doing what they were doing or death. But I'm pretty sure after the whole, after the war, the ones that were extra cruel were tried. And
imagine living with it anyway, knowing what you've done or been part of, or even just what you've seen be done. Awful, awful for everyone involved.
So over here is the gallows, right behind the crematorium. So if there was anybody that they wanted to kill on the quiet, without other prisoners knowing about it, they would hang them in here.